The arm of Rosedale is located to the north and west of Neepawa, stretching west to Franklin and north to Kelwood. The total land area is 865 square kilometers, divided into 6 wards, each with its own member of council. This month, the arm of Rosedale receives a delegation to discuss road maintenance in the municipality and discusses bridge repair and non-compliance with municipal requests, among other municipal business. Roads are a perennial topic in the municipality, which is geographically large with a small population and is largely made up of gravel roads. Plowing in winter, flooding in spring, and grading and graveling the roads in summer can wreak havoc despite the best of intentions. As well, a large turnover in public works staff can meet a constant learning curve in terms of adjusting to the best ways to maintain the roads. Colin McDonald, longtime municipal resident, brings his concerns over the roads in his area to council with some specific ideas about ways to improve them. An additional work request was received from John Swisco, who had some similar concerns about the maintenance and shaping roads he had previously been maintaining himself. The main question that arose from this was how to apply the same standards across the RM, if they were to take him up on his offer to continue to maintain that road to his own standards. His request was ultimately approved by council.
Well, I realize you only got 10 minutes. I'll try and make the best of the 10 minutes I can. Okay. For those who don't know me, I'm Colin McDonald. I live in Ward 1 of RM Rosedale. And I'm not a very good public speaker, so bear with me. I just got a few issues I'd like to discuss with all of council over some of the maintenance practices on our RM roads. It's been eating at me for a lot of years or whatever kind of thing, and I finally had the balls to step up and come to a meeting. Feel free to interrupt me if you need to interrupt me. One of the issues I have is the graders windrowing fresh good gravel out into the grass line when the grass is that tall. I don't know who it is or what operator. I'm not pointing fingers. It doesn't really matter to me, but to me it has to stop. Because you try and retrieve that gravel. I run a grader. I know how hard it is to get that gravel back. We've got sufficient gravel on our roads as far as I'm concerned throughout the municipality, but we just need to keep it in the middle of the road, not off the outside. If it's full of sod because you've been pulling sod and windrowing and stuff like that, yeah, you try not to have it in the middle of the road. It's not every road and it's not all the time, but I've seen it time and time again, and all it does is it makes a trap for the water to sit. The water can't get off the road. And when water can't get off the road, it lays along the sides, hence it gets soft or whatever, and then sooner or later, we're trying to take off a lip that's that deep. Sometimes it's gravel, sometimes it's dirt. That's one of my concerns. And I get that there's always new operators, there's people training and stuff like that. But if they're out there operating and they're doing it, and they think they're doing a good job and they're not, and nobody says anything, then they're just gonna think they're doing a good job. They're just gonna keep doing it. And it's no fault of theirs. Like it's just, and like I said, I'm not here to point fingers or everything. I just wanted to come into council and be able to look everybody in the eye with what I had to kind of say. And like I said, feel free to interrupt me or whatever too. And that's on the gravel roads or whatever. And like I said, I haven't been in the whole municipality. I haven't been up in your area. I've been around Franklin a little bit. I've been into a few different spots or whatever, and I do see it. I see it in my ward more because that's where I live and that's where I'm around. My next, number 2, is conditions of machinery roads, or so-called machinery roads, back roads, that don't get gravel on them, nor do I want gravel on them. I could care less about gravel, but I think when they're full of holes that are that deep, full of water, when you're trying to get to the field, whether you're be cutting hay or whether you're braze or whoever, it really doesn't matter who you are, you pay taxes on that land and you deserve to be able to get to that land. If it's dry enough to work in your field, then the road should be dry enough to get there. And like, I rented Rob Smith and Sons grader and went down there and fixed a couple spots in my road because I didn't want to be hauling bales and having to wash my hay bine and wash my baler when I get home from the field because it's totally covered in mud. And there's miles and miles and miles of road like that in the RM. I know that. And I know it's hard enough looking after the good gravel roads, let alone these back roads. But I mean, something needs to be done with some of these little spots. All the material's there. It's just gotten pushed to the outside. I don't want gravel on those roads. I just want it up so when it rains, in my ward, it's all sand. It'll run off. You'll be driving on it in a day. And like I said, everybody pays taxes to be able to get to these places or whatever, and some just need a baler down, some need a hay bine, some need a 35-foot straight cut header. All depends where you live and what you do. On these machinery roads, there's one of them, a grader went down, and I know it was asked for to be done by a taxpayer. I don't know whether it was to the councillor or who it was, and I don't got a problem with anybody calling and wanting stuff fixed in the road. But when you go there with a grader, you can't just go and make like one pass, roll sod, and walk away and leave the flat spot there, because that's how these roads are getting like this. All the sod's getting pushed this way. Then the next time if they get down it to grab it, it gets pushed to the other side, and pretty soon the road ends up like a bowl. That's where this all starts. And on the one road that I'm talking about, the sod got pushed right into my fence. And between us all here, everybody knows that my fence is probably on Rosedale property. That's where it was when I bought the land, and that's where it is now. But there's 15 feet on the other side, or push it to the other side, and when it gets dry, mulch it and pull it back on. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, we've got good equipment in the RM, like, and we've got manpower and stuff like that. I just want to see it. I just don't like, and Cam, I talked to him, he came back and he did pull most of it out of the fence or whatever. And now it's right back into the middle of the road, fairly good chunks of sod and everything else right in there again. I feel bad for the neighbor that asked him to do something with it, but I didn't want it so it was growing right into my fence, and then you can't do anything with it. And if it come down to that, I had to move the fence to get it out of it, then I'll move the damn fence. But I mean, people farm right to the road. Some people even farm the road in some areas. And I don't got a problem with that either, because the weeds won't grow there then.
Yeah.
Where are we here? Bear with me for a second here. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to discuss is there was mowers out mowing sides of the road in May. There wasn't enough grass growing in pasture to graze cattle yet. The grass was literally that high, and the sides are getting mowed. There was nothing there to mow. And if the mowers were going to mow scrub, then get there and mow scrub. I don't have an issue with that either or whatever, but I just drove me, like if it's 5 miles to go into where you're cutting scrub and you're mowing the ditch all the way along like that, it's a waste of taxpayers' money as far as I'm concerned. Like that's just me, whatever. And that's
not only you, lots of
no,
people.
like, and I just, like I said, I kind of stewed a little bit about some of this stuff for quite a few years since my wife hasn't been CAO here anymore. Now I figured I could get in here and actually say something, so without her. Anyway,
waste of time and money.
where are we here now? And one other thing that I had, and last year, as far as I'm concerned, in winter operations and stuff like that, as far as I'm concerned, everything was done good for a kudos or whatever. Other than the odd spot, could have used some snow trapping a little earlier than what I got.
Yeah.
But I mean, happy with that. There's got to be something positive out of everything that everybody's got to say, kind of thing. But in the I believe it was in either April or March, there was a snowplow came from Bert de Koning's road, which I would believe is road 89 north, maybe? 90? 471 lines up to 471 all the way down to Howard Panos. And I'm just wondering why that road got plowed. Was there operators getting training, or why was the snow being plowed at that time of year? Like it was just.
That was from Bert's down that curve.
Bert right down to Nelson Helmy's place, which is.
I don't know why they was in there then.
I've been there 30 years and I've never seen the road plowed down there. And if there was a reason for it, then so be it. But
they're only supposed to do up the Lowlands there. Just turn around there and go back.
Yeah.
Why,
and like I didn't stop and ask or whatever. It's not my place or whatever to. But that was another concern of mine, kind of. So
They don't grade it, but they snowplow it.
yeah, and like. And back to my kind of, I know I'm jumping around here a bit of my topic on these back roads. You just like, the whole roads don't need to be done necessarily, but these bad spots do. And like when I went and fixed them, all I did was I shaved the sod a bit at a time. I laid it into those bad spots in the middle of the road, and once you get it shaved off, then you're down to the black dirt. There's 99 feet of road allowance there, to my knowledge, in an RM. So there's lots of material to work with, whether it's got to come from my field or my fence line or you know what I mean, wherever. There's lots of material there to work with to make these dirt roads a dirt road. And like, in reality, everybody would love that everything could be gravel, but they can't be because everything's too costly. But I think that's my rant. So like if you guys, like I would like to kind of hear some sort of response on it, whether it would be, go ahead.
You forgot to address the walkway.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. The washboard, that's another thing. When a grader gets hopping, you feel it when you're sitting in there. And you want, when you're done, and I ran a grader, I've screwed up as much shit as I've fixed probably. But I mean, when a grader gets hopping or whatever, and it's done, the road's freshly done being graded, and you're going down there like this right after the grader's gone by, then something's wrong. And most of the time that's when you're spreading the gravel, it's not when you're cutting. And if you get it cut good underneath, when you're spreading, there shouldn't be that hop. Fill your moldboard, spread it, and you don't need to spread it 2 miles an hour. You can spread it 5, 6, 7 miles an hour if it's smooth underneath. But if it's not smooth underneath, and as soon as they feel that grader hopping, then they gotta stop. They gotta quit and start from scratch. Idle right down until that thing stops hopping and go again.
I've said there a few times, they're not cutting though. They're not cutting. They're just guttering. My road was done 2 days ago. You never know. The mountain car just up a few feet. Cut the darn thing.
Well, and I know every road needs done different. Some are wide enough that they need like 4 passes on them kind of thing to get it done right, and some of them are only not much more wider than what the grader is, so they're a little trickier to kind of.
That's just an example I said from my spot, but I mean that little spot needed to be cut, not just feathered.
Yeah.
So you drive over it, it's the same thing again.
Yeah.
You put dust in the washboard. That did nothing.
Yeah. And like sometimes if it's a wide road, you might have to cut the one side, cut the other side, and maybe that's not the way that it's right, but I cut the one side, cut the other, put a big windrow in the middle, spread half the windrow out and leave it out about that far from the edge so you can get it back the next time, because nobody travels outside on the outside of the road unless they're meeting somebody. Everybody travels in the middle of the road, and that's where the gravel needs to be. It all works its way out as traffic goes over it anyway. My 10 minutes are probably.
Didn't get the hook yet, Golf.
Well, whatever. I appreciate you guys for hearing me out. I just like to, if somebody could give me somewhat sort of a, I know it was a lot to everybody to take
we
in.
talked about this before, and we've been trying.
Oh, and I'm not going that you aren't trying. Everybody's trying.
We're trying to get them lined up to get those grader operators training.
Yeah.
And we had to put it in the budget, and I thought it was there, but apparently our money isn't there for.
It's really hard to get the kind of training you need, though. You need to find an old an old grader operator somewhere that could go and not like the cat salesman guy
Yeah.
that comes out to try and show you how to pull sod. Well, anybody can stick it down the ditch and pull out wads of whatever, but I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly, agree with
and
you.
yeah, like
Isn't that the guy there's also?
Maybe
There's a
we,
guy in Minnedosa that does it.
maybe we could get this old guy I'm looking at to come in.
you know what? I don't. No, I just assume not. I just assume like you know what I could. It's just thinking about what you're doing and what you're leaving behind you all the time or whatever. And like I've been doing a little bit of that stuff for better part of 30 years or whatever kind of thing. And Rosedale's lucky because there's gravel to work with. When I worked the highways for 30 years, you were rolling those same stones for years and years to come because there was never any gravel on the road.
Yeah.
Just like you guys fight with 471 or whatever. Like I can't imagine what you even go through looking after that road. But on the other parts of the road, as far as I'm concerned, there's good gravel on it or whatever. We just got to keep it there and don't lose it over the edge because it's too expensive. I haul it every day. I know how it's yeah. Unless there's anything else from you guys, I'm
Any questions? No.
going back to work.
All right, thanks, Paul.
Thanks,
Okay,
Thanks, Paul.
You bet.
So John won't be appearing
Yeah.
today. He submitted ward work requests, and then I gave him an update on what the ward work requests were, and he feels it's sufficient that he doesn't need to appear before council. But there's a recommended resolution from the ward work request.
Can I speak briefly to that?
Yeah, would you mind?
Yeah.
I lost my computer.
So, I just wanted to echo some of the comments that John had made. So these aren't mine, I'm just gonna reiterate some things that he said on the phone, but some of it echoed what, that delegation was, just about, not having the lips, not shaping the road so that it drains. One of the comments that was made was almost word for word about if the field is dry enough to work, the road should be dry enough to get to. And that was a huge point that John brought out, or pointed out to my attention on a couple of phone calls. And also he had a slight difference of opinion. Like they've been requesting gravel on those roads, whereas he said he doesn't need gravel. But that's one of the divergences there. But he also mentioned how they've been maintaining that road for quite a few years, and that this is a step backwards this year. Because of how it got shaped this year. And he was requesting that if the RM is going to look after it, then they have to completely look after it. Which is, we should be able to access our fields, echoing some of the same comments of why are we paying the same taxes but not being able to get to our fields? And also discussing some of the excessive commute times of heavy equipment and fuel costs and whatnot.
So you're talking about the road from Kyle to North?
And also a little bit east-west as well, but north and
Right.
south. Primarily north and south, but the east-west one also got shaped badly, so it's wet.
If we got a road, in my opinion, if we got a road, then a ratepayer is willing to cut the grass and look after it, travel to his fields. Why are we messing with it? He's the guy he's done that for years. When I was looking after the shop, he did that.
Yeah.
And I don't see a problem with it. We got enough things to do. In fact, we got more things that should be getting done. Why would we go and waste time on the roads that he kept mowed? He used to fix up the bad spots. It's a back road, the same as Coleman was talking about.
And he was okay with that. So he, just to be clear, in the conversation with him in the last few days, that's his preference, is that
They look after.
that they look after
Sure.
it.
So why don't we say go ahead?
And so the surprise was that the RM went in there and reshaped it this year.
Exactly.
I think probably communication hasn't been given to the public works department of what they should or should not have been doing. And I think that's where the fault lies, I guess, if you want to call it, where, no sense pointing fingers. Let's come up with a game plan, because this situation's come up multiple times, if you want to call it. We've talked about it pretty much every year. And last year, I know for a fact that they went up there and they graded the road, and John caught me at a John Deere dealership for it. And he said, great, we wanted it done, it was perfect. So one year it's one thing, next year it's the next. So can we put it in writing so everybody knows what's going to happen going forward? So if the schools are going to maintain those, what is there, 5 miles, Jeff, of roads approximately that they look after?
It wouldn't be that much, no.
Okay, 3 miles, 4 miles, whatever.
Let's say
Whatever.
4,
So whatever mileage they want to look after, then great. And it would be unreasonable for us to add some gravel every other year or two.
Well, it's not a budget for it.
I thought we were graveling back roads.
Well, I'm throwing it out. Paul Collins did the same thing.
I don't.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's all I did.
I was told that there 2 years ago, I did the wrong thing by graveling back roads, but others did. And that was okay. That's how I'm coming from.
And that's where I'm talking about the mixed messaging.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
different standards, the different rules, and that's why I brought it up at the last meeting about, like we're showing them now. Are we maintaining these roads that are in white?
Right.
Like, we're not plowing them in the winter, but are we maintaining them in the summer? Are we graveling them in the summer? And I thought I had an understanding of what it was, but apparently I was wrong. So I'm requesting again, like, that we have one standard for the RM.
Exactly.
Like, and then we all know what the rule is, so we're not all saying 6 different things to whoever happens to be talking that day. It's too small a group not to have a consistent message.
It seems that the consensus at the table is that, let them work at it and let them look after it. So
Yeah,
They've been doing it for years.
if they're willing to do it, then
Let
them do
I
it.
feel.
And that's the way I feel too.
And the Public Works Department should know that.
And public works
So
should
that
be
if they're
informed.
leave those loads, don't touch them.
Well, it saves you 5 miles. If you have 3 miles approximately, or 89 or whatever,
There's all the roads that,
It's a win.
well, of course, as Paul mentioned, there's other roads that need attention, and some ratepayers, including myself, go and repair them ourselves. Should we get it? So,
Good resolution. To inform the public works foreman that Savisco's would look after those roads, I guess is how you put it.
You probably get them that, but you need to give the public understand to say, here, you're gonna take care of these big.
Are those accurate?
I can't stipulate that that's accurate. I have to confirm with them.
yeah, but I guess, if you take them a map and draw it out, and then at least as a map like this is handed to the Public Works Department.
Oh, except I'm going to be stepping out as the middleman because the CAO can take that map to him and sign an agreement. I'm not going to involve myself in that.
But I think there should be some kind of an agreement signed, because if it's been, we do it 1 year, they do it 1 year, then if they're gonna do it, they have to do it. That's expected.
So is this gonna take place throughout the RM? If somebody else does the same thing?
Or if they want to make it,
And to a point, like, sure, it's okay to maintain it. What if they start, I wanna rebuild it? I wanna do something, well, maybe it's not up to our standards.
valid point,
Right?
because it always escalates.
It escalates. That's my.
Well,
Yeah,
these things, we just need to leave it alone. It just has to be area, just need to leave it alone.
But what do you do though if they ask this, the Wesco family asks next year that we do blah, blah, blah on this road? Then we have to say no to them. That's my, what I mean, it's the same with the agreement, because the agreement should say maintenance. If it's gonna be a paper sign, then it say maintenance, not
Yeah.
rebuilds or whatever, just maintenance. But it just for clarification, like what Jeff's talking about, just for clarification.
They could do whatever they want to it. In other words, basically what we're giving them permission to do what they want.
Maintenance only.
Not maintenance, right?
But once again,
That's like,
Your determination of maintenance and Robert's determination of maintenance might be two different ideas. right?
exactly.
Yeah, so it's a pretty loose word.
It's a loose,
so is it RM infrastructure, one consistent message across the RM, or is it individual landowners get to decide what to do with RM infrastructure based on how they feel? Or is it a standard must be maintained and they sign an agreement to maintain it, and then the public works foreman ensures compliance? Or, like this, like it's not simple, right?
No, it's not simple. No, because it could get ugly at some point. This is simple. This one might be simple.
And this one is particularly simple because they happen to coincidentally own farmland along a significant stretch of road, pretty much all of it. So in their particular case, there's no conflicting interests, there's no competing interests.
No.
In most other roads, There would be.
Multiple
It'd be a patchwork of multiple owners, and then this precedent doesn't work anywhere else in the RM. It works for these people in this situation once. So do you make exceptions, or do you keep a standard? That's
less
Well,
confusing.
usually what about the liability side, so they go maintain it, and they leave their water running someplace or something. That, all of a sudden somebody hits it with a small vehicle, and causes an accident. Then who's liable?
There's never gonna be a cut and dry to this, so we have to come up with
Stone
something.
is left on the road,
Yeah.
we know there's stones in that area.
Yeah.
In case somebody hits it, it's
Yeah.
liable.
That's the only one.
It's all right.
And you're right, it's not a simple thing.
Yeah.
and
It's funny because even on any of our main roads, we're still not on the back page here. It's an back thing. Yeah, it's fun because I did that on the road swing. I was coming down and I went past the neighbor's place and we dropped this big in the middle of the road and hit the oil pan. The oil, I pulled up the yard there, was underneath and all the oil was running out of the oil pan. I'm like, oh.
So,
I'll back cover it.
so the one thing that I'll say, well, John's supposed to go and myself, we need certainty.
Yeah, there's no blame.
We need certainty. We need
Yeah.
consistency, and we need certainty.
yeah,
Yeah.
You can't blame the grader operator.
so, and
It's
that's
just
something
lucky the
that's,
stone just popped open, somebody went over it.
that something's made up
See it
and assigned to take
They
liability
do it.
for what they do on that road. And then in that clause, I think we would have to have something that if they fear that needed to be rebuilt, then it would have to be approached to the RM.
Any major changes?
Or any
major
changes to the
changes,
road? Yeah, I mean, it could be, doesn't have to be worded like that. Has to have some wording there about that, because I mean, as you say, this is not gonna be the last one of these, we
No.
can do this. There we go.
People just say, well, John's
And if-
maintaining this road, I can maintain this too. I
Yeah.
can do what I want to do basically.
And Kara had sent out a draft policy just shortly after I came on council. There was that draft policy that she circulated about local landowners maintaining their roads. So, but I think I just fell off the agenda.
I don't believe it was passed, no.
Have you seen it?
In a draft state.
I don't remember.
It's been a while, and I think it just got blended in and then dropped. And so I'm not sure. Again, I think I might have a copy at home still. And it was because of this. I think this was the impetus. This particular situation was the impetus for that policy.
Yeah.
But which leads to the next liability work request is that it's RM infrastructure that needs gravel so that ratepayers can access the fields. So although we're saying that they can maintain it, but the RM owes a duty of care and responsibility to give gravel where it's needed, is my opinion as a council. I'm no longer speaking on behalf of them, I'm speaking as a council. I think that the RM can identify, yes, that needs gravel, and gravel should be applied at the RM expense, not at the ratepayer's expense.
That's that road that I showed Jordan there, that they put in 3 requests on it. Jordan put in the last one on to fix that. The Yankees there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, it is.
You just need to put fitter in it. And fill that because it's not going away, it's staying. It's been there all season.
But I don't think it's unreasonable to or even to have a request for gravel every second or third year on that road.
Well, where they need it.
Where they need it,
Yeah,
yeah.
wherever they're gonna fix theirs.
I think it's more that the roads need to get done with the grader every year. Like, bring back up. There's a lot of our roads, they all down on my side here on this corner.
Oh, no, but I'm just talking about
Stevie.
Sabisco's.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
was thinking with all of them.
No,
They need to get done at least once a year.
Well, yeah, they need to once a year.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not what we don't have. Yeah, it's part of this discussion, but right now we've got to get this one figured out. So, do you want to table this to discuss it more, or do you want?
Well, what's this table?
I think you just be able to give them just to be able to maintain it. That's it. Nothing else, just maintain.
What do you think you need gravel?
You won't send a gravel grader down there.
But it would be too late this year anyway, so it'd have to be scheduled
Not really.
So it's not, we're just dumping ground, not.
Well,
It's not like that. It must be
Oh,
dumping
right,
ground.
yeah, he did tell me that on the phone, because I had a discussion.
It says something about an end note.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think I
And
said,
that
did I
they
read
would-
that? Was I reading that?
No, you weren't dreaming that.
Okay.
No, and the foreman attended, appeared on site, and so the foreman's got some recommendations.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, 'cause they're dumping 4 25-yard loads somewhere.
Mm.
Not necessarily spreading them, just dumping them, by the way I read. Maybe that was
Yeah,
contract with
that's
the.
right. And they would look after putting it in a place where.
So that part is, I mean, and if we're using road gravel, it's road gravel, we're using bitumen, it's whatever it is, so I don't think, I don't have a problem with that, because obviously there's holes there,
Exactly.
substantial holes, but they're about 25 yards in it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But they maintain it, that's, but we should have something in the writing, I don't know, not a big contract, having something to say that they can maintain it. That way, if anybody sees them, they have our permission to maintain that stretches the road, that's,
Plus the rest, okay, well, next year, are the rules gonna change again? Let's get this.
this is what you want
This
to
is it,
know,
we're done with it.
for the rest of the time.
This is, came up multiple times, we've been on, right? So.
And then we can keep our public works folks out of there, because they,
Yeah.
maintained by this family.
Yeah, that's all I did.
That's all.
Maintaining them,
Just maintaining.
So that's my improvements.
Yeah, I'll reach to the resolution, and I can figure out whether it's be it resolved that the council of the RM of Rosedale authorize the foreman to a recommendation of 425 for the yard loads of traffic gravel on Road 94 West, and therefore be it resolved that the council directs the foreman thus that roads 94 West from 94 or 85 South to 87 South and 80 South.
Because I don't know the road numbers, but you guys will, and that's, the agreement sounds right, if the road numbers are right.
Yeah, the road numbers are right.
Oh yeah, it was 85 north and 87 north,
Oh,
and then
84.5.
if
85 north.
you can go to the updated board work request attachment,
Yeah,
that's where the road numbers I got for came from.
Yeah, 94 West, 85.5 West to 87.5 North, and 86 North from 95 West to 92 West. Is that, that's the numbers, if they jive with you, what you're thinking, that's,
Yeah, because that's that,
okay.
and that's the big stretch of weight that I brought up in the last meeting. And there's also some dangerous holes in there, not just, I can't access my field, there's, if somebody drives that, there's some loose your tire, or like blow up your suspension.
Yeah.
so is that resolution sound about right?
Yep.
Good to me.
Do I have a mover? You sure? Henderson seconds. All in favor? Carried.
Going forward, will gravel maps be posted on the website for the public to see? Or-
That's my intention, so in the springtime, when we develop the next ward graveling maps, yeah, we'll put them up on the website, so they're a referral document for both council, administration, and the public, so everyone can see what roads are getting gravelled and which ones aren't.
Thank you.
For the past few years, the RM has been systematically repairing and rebuilding bridges throughout the municipality, particularly those damaged by flooding. The Manitoba GROW program has a strategic investment category of roads, bridges, and active transportation that the RM can apply to for funds to help address some of the most pressing remaining sites. Manitoba GROW provides municipalities outside of Winnipeg with grant funding for up to 50% of total eligible costs for qualifying capital projects.
So the province of Manitoba has opened up a new window for the Manitoba GROW program. And you'll see within the attached document of the bulletin what are eligible projects to do under the GROW program. The deadline is October 6th. So I made sure it be known to Municipal and Northern Relations that though the GROW program is greatly appreciated, the really short timeline was not. So under this, you'll see attachments of the bridge program and then the recommendation of applying under the GROW program to work on our bridge infrastructure repairs.
I'd like to make some comments on that. Over the last 3 years, we haven't done anything for our bridge infrastructure program. And we were presented with Peer Solutions back in 2023, I think it was. So under the Bridge 2026 Go program, the condensed version, that is something that I presented to council with Cam. That was back in June, we were working on this. Some of these sites have been done already, so the dollar amounts that Peer Solutions give out, which is a good guideline, I guess, but we're probably going to be less than that, I would hope. And not trying to pick on Ward 3, but there's 2 sites up there that need attention. We need to be budgeting for 2026, for sure. One bridge is right at the corner of 85 and 95, is one of them. And the other one is up on 95 and 90, or 88 north. We have string roofs that are not in good condition. And the reason why those stringers are not in good condition is because the railing is bolted to the stringer. And when the railing is touched, I guess.
That's easy way to put it.
Yeah. That puts extra stress on the stringer and then the crack. And one at 88 and 90, or pardon me, 85 and 95 has got both stringers, outside stringers that are in very poor condition. The stringers can be replaced, yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff, you think of something there?
I have 2 questions. So the notes that are here, the condensed version of bridge infrastructure repairs, that's your notes, Jordan, or your?
Those are my notes.
Those are your notes, okay.
They're just information is what it is, and we've been trying to be very unbiased on that, of course, which I will try to be, and putting that, present that forward, basically.
The one thing that's been brought to my attention, so this bridge here, just on you, this bridge here, when you're going east-west on 85 north, the way this bridge that Dave just mentioned, the way the guardrails are on it, and the size they put it, you cannot turn north-south properties because the guardrails prevent you from doing it. And that, not just big equipment, long trailers.
Yeah,
it's very.
That's been talked.
Yeah.
Since I got to council before I got into it.
Yeah.
And if
The
you're
bridges are in too good a shape to be rid of.
Why don't
Right.
we go to the sites off? What do you have to do?
Well, no, it's, remember, that's over at
By Paris.
Split Parents Place, that
Yeah.
bridge. And that's when they wanted to take it out the culverts, remember? So they could make the turn with the semis.
Yeah, they have to go an extra mile.
They got to go an extra mile over and then come back.
And do you have to have guardrails on Yeah, like when you put out-
For safety reasons, I think everything that Peer Solutions put out, you have to be guardrails and also marker.
it? There's no guardrails and markers in the bridge at night.
And some I know about, trust me, I know that.
I know they
Never
used to
been
only
there.
put, they put it on 4x4 and then they put another rail on top of it. And somebody used to do so if you hit the tire and kick you back.
We put those rails on those
Yeah.
couple bridges.
But if you look at,
Yeah, we
even if
fixed
you took those rails off there, you still wouldn't make that time.
No,
No.
You
No.
attempt it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the best way to put it, but you had one attempt,
We
yeah.
wouldn't even,
No,
No, that'd be bad.
front end and back end, something.
So the only thing I'll say is that, because I'm not a bridge expert, I just want to say, one consideration I have is that sometimes you end up maintaining something that isn't fit for purpose. And then because you maintained it, then you continue to maintain something as opposed to pulling off the Band-Aid and rebuilding it to make it fit. And I don't know
I'll
if
give-
it's city.
I'll give you clarification on that bridge, Jeff. The one at that corner, there's 2 bridges on that corner. Is the one to the north that needs repairs, not the one to the south.
I thought you were talking the one that's
No,
south side, but
that's
pulling
right.
that back.
I could see that
And
clarification.
I'm just gonna.
Hope that helps you.
He's not done with your map?
Yeah.
And how about this bridge here?
That's an
7.
there is nothing on Peer Solutions on that.
There should be.
Yeah, that one there,
Because
that's the
worst-
one that
worst
road's
one.
too wide for the bridge. And that's the one you're talking about.
Well, it's railing in between every board and underneath that.
What's the section township range?
Uh,
When did you look at that last one?
maybe 3 years ago.
Okay, that DFA report, that was a DFA site. It's all been, should be, I haven't been there this year, but it was DFA last year. And what they did is they put a plank and went up, approximately, don't quote me on this, like 2 to 3 feet.
That's from the bottom?
From the bottom.
That was done. I looked at it maybe years ago.
Yeah, because what they did is they got the DFA site and all the water washed in there, and of course that's where the material was running down, not the 2022.
Mhm.
So what they did is they, I believe it's 5 planks high they put, and then they put clay and then riprap on top, on that bridge. Yeah. On both, on the south wall for sure.
South wall, South wall is one.
Yeah, and the wing wall as well. They did.
19, 15, 16.
Yeah. So that was a DFA site.
And the riprap on the inside, really?
Yeah.
On the inside.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was saying,
On the walls.
That's the one.
Gravel, gravel.
Yeah. Because the planks, the water was washing it, and
Yeah.
there's no way.
So that's done, that's good,
It's
yeah.
done.
Because that one bridge, the problem, turning bridge is because it's too close to the road, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too close to the intersection.
Just like that.
It's also because of this, it's not a 90 corner,
Right.
it's a 80.
I'm just kidding.
It's a pretty surprisingly sharp turn there.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, be it resolved that the Council of the RM of Rosedale apply the Manitoba Grow Program under the program 2026 under the stringent investment category of the roads, bridges, and activity transportation that funds 50% of the total eligible project of cost. Do I have a mover? Daughter. Second. Ernie. All in favor? Carried.
When you apply for that grant, Jordan, you're gonna put in what dollar figure, are we thinking?
Whatever would be the new dollar amount from the 5-year bridge maintenance plan addendum that's been attached.
Okay.
They provided me updated prices this morning, so I threw it in as an attachment. And then council can make a decision after if we get approval with what and the other and how to fit it into the budget.
So you're gonna go half of their 225?
It would be
Yeah.
identifying the items in the bridges 2026 road grant
Yeah.
Okay,
and then balancing it to the 5-year bridge maintenance plan addendum attachment.
okay.
Just because we get the full grant amount doesn't mean we need to use it all either.
There has been an issue dating back to 2019 regarding a ratepayer erecting a fence on a road allowance, which they had been instructed to remove by council on more than one occasion. The individual has now erected a gate across the same road allowance, which other residents have brought to the attention of council. Administration will send a final warning regarding the situation before they use municipal equipment to remove the barrier at the property owner's expense.
So this was another ratepayer who wanted to appear as a reception delegation, but through communicating with them, he indicated that he'd be willing to just allow council to consider the proposed resolution, and he would come at another time, depending on the outcome. I think Councillor Costenstruck can speak to that because he's kind of in the attachments of documents and stuff.
And this will be along, like I said before, many times. Before your time, Robert knows more. He's been here several times this gentleman, discussing this issue with us. It'll never change unless us as RM, with RM and all in, get rid of their fence and tell them to put them where it needs to be. Because the fence is on the road. So you were the other noise on it.
Yeah, you show me the
Yeah.
details.
Their road's on the fence. I mean, their fence is on the road once, and they're always fighting. Always something. So I think one way if we rushed it out and tell them you put the fence on your side, you put the fence on your side. But the other issue is on the corner, probably in Rosedale. They let cattle across the corner from our RM, you can say, into that RM. And then there's a gateway on an angle. And this is blocked. Where this gentleman here wants access for what, I'm not sure. But you can't go over into that property. You know that, this is a swamp.
Yeah.
It goes nowhere, but he wants access. And it's fair
The
enough.
gate is not locked in there, right? So you can
No,
open the gate and get.
but I'm not saying it's not hot either.
Okay.
You're not saying electric, fine.
Look,
Hot. I would, yeah.
Because we visited the site 4 or 5 years ago. We were all up there.
That was at the north end.
Oh,
This
this
is south.
oh, different end,
South end,
different end,
yeah.
okay.
yeah.
Same problem.
Same problem, different area.
Okay.
We had a problem further north too that time, where you fenced the road mounts off.
Yes, that's what it was. But did we have luck with getting Glen William to get that neighbor
No.
to move the fence down?
No,
Because I talked to Victor Baronic,
you phoned Carl right
and we had a conversation on the phone. And he asked what we've done with this situation, and I told him we have sent them a letter saying, stating, get the fences back on their side of the property, otherwise we send a bulldozer or grader down and we take the fence out at their cost. They have not done nothing from it. He doesn't know if the CAO sent the letter or if he did not send the letter. So he's going to get back to me on that. But I think with this situation, we send them another letter and say, listen, third strike, you're out. We're going to take it and wipe them out.
Just run more than third straight, yeah.
Well,
Send them another letter out.
yeah.
I think.
Send them a letter and say, listen, this is their final warning. Otherwise, cat goes in or grader on your expense and we take our road back. Simple.
We only take our half of the road back, but I guess we have to be.
Well, it'll be up to Clan Williams to do the same. But I mean, when we come to that decision of writing that letter, I would ask that the letter be drafted up and sent to Clan William, our letter.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna.
So a copy so that they can see what we wrote.
Exactly.
And then they could even follow up and do the same, and then it comes from both sides. We're both on an agreement. Done. No, it won't be done, but I mean,
Yeah, they're on board with us, yeah, that makes sense.
They're on board, but they weren't last time for some reason.
no, well, he doesn't think the CAO sent the letter, so. And I know there was a draft sent to Clan William.
Well, Kara sent a letter,
Kara sent-
Kara sent a letter, and then Melissa believed it too, and what was
Yeah, CARES is in the package
Yes,
from
yeah,
2019.
that? Yeah. That was when it was resolved, I think, because that was north and somewhat resolved.
Yeah.
That's when you're fencing off
It's
the road.
unfortunate these two parties can't get together and make some kind of agreement that they can both live with.
They were not-
Yeah, I understand that.
So, this leads us, we're at section 287 of the Municipal Act provides the municipal with direction to control and manage the municipal roads. And whereas in July 2019, the administration wrote a letter requesting the removal of fences off the municipal road allowance, therefore be it resolved that Council of the Arno Rosa is instructed the administration to write a letter requiring to remove the gate and the place on the same road allowance, and further non-compliance will result in the RM removing the gate and billing the property owner for the expense occurred. Excuse me. Any questions? Do I have a mover?
We put a date in on
The deadline next to the-
Oh, shoot, yeah, I guess so.
There's no plowing or goes forward.
Yeah.
Because saying it's just half of them.
You get it to them next door, then we can put a date on it.
that?
Yeah, get them to approve it before we deed it.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, if they approve it, then we can date it. both at the same time, sort of thing.
So instead of instructing administration to write a letter requiring the removal of the gate, you're looking more for me to write a request letter to Clan William.
Or you can give them a letter, but this is what we're thinking, you can send that letter and request for them to do the same if they could.
Yeah, because I was just going to CC them on the violation letter that I would send, but
I think
If we put a date on there, then they don't get this letter, something, whatever, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden, now we're not.
But 60 days, 60 days, we need to do something on our side of the line. I mean, finally, hopefully we'll do the same on their side, but we need to do something on our side of the line, because we don't control their side. But I think like 60 days, all kinds of time to take the gate down, move it out of the way, and that also gives time for Clan to hopefully get on board. But if not, we have to carry out our plan.
So-
It's not we're advising you, not asking for permission.
Yeah, that's right. So
It's nothing new, they shouldn't be on board.
well, it's 2019 on there, July 2019 was already, so I mean, that's already 6 years ago, so we've given them lots of notice. 6 years and 60 days.
so just by November 30th then?
I would say that's a good date. Sure.
Go for it.
And hopefully Clan gets on board with that.
That's-
Because if we cut the wires on our side of the line, the gate will fall down. Right?
So do I leave this the way it is, or should we change that? Excuse me.
Because Mark was done it once before, right?
Well, you've been here more than once.
Okay, because I remember once for sure.
Okay, it's been added by November 30th, 2025. So do I have a mover?
Sure.
Or
Should go.
second or Ronnie Clausen, Chuck? All in favor? Carried.
Also covered were the filed correspondence, attendance at the AMM 2025 Fall Convention, approach requests that were handled as per the new bylaw, the installation of fiber optic infrastructure throughout the municipality, and a tax roll correction. End-to-end coverage of the RM of Rosedale Council meeting is available on the NACTV YouTube channel. If you have any feedback on this program or further information you would like us to seek from the RM of Rosedale, please contact us at 204-476-2639 or nactvnews@gmail.com.